Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. Injustice 2 has just arrived, and to be fully prepared for the campaign, we're taking a look back at everything that happened in the Injustice Gods Among Us story. I'll try my best to get all 3 hours of the campaign into about 10 minutes-ish. If I overrun, I apologise. Let's do this. Oh, and be prepared for me to say alternative about 100 times. Sorry about that. Injustice Gods Among Us starts in an alternative universe, with a captured Joker being interrogated by Batman following an explosion which has levelled Metropolis and killed millions of innocent people. The preceding moments are in the comic books, so let's fill in that blank now. Lois Lane and her unborn child are being operated upon by the Joker, who sets the bomb to explode when her heart stops beating. In comes Superman to save Lois and the super baby, of course, but he ingests some sort of hallucinogenic and believes Lois is Doomsday. Easy mistake to make, I know. Batman tries to make Superman see sense, but it's too late, and Superman has killed Lois and his baby. Which takes us back to the video game. Superman bursts into the interrogation room. He's devastated, he's unhinged, and the Joker can't help but fuel that anger.
I know it's soon, but think you'll ever love again? Maybe you won't kill your next family.
It cuts to black before it happens, but Superman punches a hole straight through the Joker, killing him once and for all. Here you go, you see it for yourself. We now switch to another universe, which we're going to call the real universe. Please believe me, that will be quite important later on. Anyway, in this universe, Lois is alive, Superman is still a likeable chap, and the bomb isn't in Joker's possession yet. We pick up with the Justice League fighting Lex Luthor and his cronies as he breaks the Joker out of prison. It doesn't take long for the Justice League to mop up this crop of supervillains, and a captured Lex tells us our next story point.
I can see the headlines. Justice League fails, clown kills millions.
You gave him a nuke?
Most of the League dies, and Superman's beloved city is vaporized.
As Batman reaches the Joker, he's one button press away from wiping out Metropolis, but just as he presses the trigger, Batman, the Joker, Aquaman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman are all transported into that alternate universe we saw at the start. Yeah, the one where Metropolis was blown up and Superman was a little vexed. When they arrive, it's 5 years later, and in this alternative universe, Superman is a bit of a bastard. He is now a tyrant who rules with an iron fist and murders anyone who disagrees with him. This means all the heroes we know and love could be working for Superman in this alternative universe. So keep that in mind. Anyway, back to the story. Superman's military are quick to arrest the Caped Crusader and the Joker, but Bruce escapes because, well, he's Batman, isn't he? Duh. The remaining members of the Justice League try to figure out how they have jumped to another dimension, and of course they separate because that's always a good thing to do, isn't it? First up, Green Lantern looks to recharge his ring at an airfield, but stumbles across the alternate versions of Raven and Cyborg, who are torturing Deathstroke. Hal steps in and frees Deathstroke, but he makes a run for it. Don't worry, he'll be back soon enough. Meanwhile, Aquaman travels to Atlantis to search for answers, and discovers his alternate self is about to give rule of Atlantis over to Superman, meaning all his underwater armies would be forced to support the tyrannical superhero. He doesn't stand for that and beats the shit out of himself before meeting back up with the team who have found the alternate Batman. He doesn't like Superman, and he has an unexpected backer too.
Unlike your Luthor, I've never indulged in lawbreaking. Superman doesn't suspect his best friend is funding the insurgency.
Alternative Lex Luthor is a good guy, who's Superman's best friend too. Just take a second to get your head round that one. Lex Luthor is a good guy. Alternate Batman reveals he has a kryptonite-based weapon which will incapacitate Superman hidden in his Batcave, but it can only be opened by 5 members of the Justice League. This is the main reason why they suddenly jumped from one universe into another, and it also explains that Batman and the Joker weren't supposed to be pulled through with them. A few little potential story threads, which could be uncovered further in Injustice 2, are revealed, such as what looks to be the start of a relationship between Wonder Woman and Superman.
Are you okay with this? With us?
Of course.
I'm not trying to replace her. I just thought
I know.
But the memory of Lois seems to be curtailing that. Whilst all of this is going on, the Joker has once again escaped from prison and bumps into Batman. This time the Joker gets the upper hand and Batman is detained by alternative Hawkgirl and the Yellow Lantern.
And me without my camera, I could have gotten 10 million hits.
The Joker then bumps into alternative Harley Quinn, who doesn't believe he's the Joker. You know, this happened, remember? He tries to convince her.
Harley, it's me. I'm the Joker. Look, it says so right here on my underwear.
Not funny, creep.
But the only way the Joker can convince Harley is by beating the crap out of her. Because that's how domestic violence works, I presume?
It's you. The way you move.
It's the love. You could feel the love, right?
Harley takes the Joker to her hideout, where he gives a rousing speech to his new henchmen. He now somehow has a supply of super pills that will make him and his cronies indestructible. But before he can continue, in bursts alternate Nightwing and Hawkgirl, bringing along Superman's military force, who open fire on the Joker.
I should be dead. Thanks, Happy Pill.
A few moments later, the good guys arrive and the baddies make a run for it. Alternate Harley is in cahoots with alternate Batman, so the Joker is put in jail for safety reasons, of course.
More of them will be here soon. Go. I'll catch up with you.
Alternate Superman. Or should I just call him Evil Superman? Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Superman goes to visit the incarcerated Batman and instantly knows he is not the Batman for this universe.
nice work, Hal. How did
It's
you...
not him.
What?
Back at Wayne Manor, our heroes make their way to the Batcave, interrupted with a few fights, of course, and some really cool mini-games, like the Solomon Grundy one. Anyway, here they unlock the weapon that will defeat the tyrant Superman. Remember Deathstroke from earlier? Well, he locates alternate Lex and joins his resistance and effectively becomes the hero we all knew he was. Back in the real universe, good Superman, Cyborg and the Flash are trying to locate their missing heroes. They come up with a plan to use the Flash's speed on the cosmic treadmill to open a portal and drag back Batman, the Joker, Aquaman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern and Wonder Woman. The story dips in and out of this, but when the machine is functioning, it kind of works in the wrong direction and Cyborg is flung into the alternate universe accidentally. Here, he notices Lex and Deathstroke speaking about killing Superman, and doesn't realise that this universe is backwards, and decides to beat the shit out of them.
That's all I needed to hear.
At ease, Cyborg.
Batman?
Welcome to Oz, Tin Man.
In an attempt to lure out our heroes, alternate Superman declares he will execute Batman on live TV. He's even nice enough to say when and where.
The leader of the insurgency will pay for his crimes.
Oh, I don't like this.
At 6 p.m. local time, Batman will be executed at Stryker's Island. May Rao have mercy on his soul.
Cyborg and Deathstroke go to the Watchtower space station to create a teleportation system to be used to save Batman before he's executed. Whilst doing this, Cyborg is forced to take down Catwoman after she figures out he's an imposter, and then he has a pretty cool face-to-face with alternate Cyborg, and the two attempt to hack each other's systems before deciding to fight like men. I mean, robots. No, men. Cyborgs. So fight like cyborgs. Deathstroke goes AWOL and sets off a core reaction, meaning the space station will explode in 90 minutes, all because he was tortured earlier on in the story. Jeez, talk about holding a grudge. It's almost time for Batman to be executed, so Superman fills Stryker's Island with his military forces. The first man to make a move is Aquaman, who has brought some sort of shellfish to fight. Come on, Aquaman. You have an entire ocean full of awesome creatures, and you choose bloody crayfish. Talk about a damp squib. Or rather, a damp squid. Hey, ha! That's the comedy you come for. Whew, anyway. As Batman and Green Arrow fight through the compound, they come up against Nightwing, and this bit has a few people confused.
This is Damian Wayne.
Wayne.
His son. But Superman's been more of a father than you ever were.
You stopped being my son when you killed Dick Grayson. He was my son.
What? So I checked what happened, and yep, in the comics, a disgruntled Damian Wayne threw his baton thing at Dick's head. There's a joke in there somewhere. And in this case, it hit him, he fell awkwardly and popped his clogs there and then. Batman never forgave his son, and Superman pretty much became a father figure to him.
You're dead to me.
Whilst the war continues outside, alternate Batman finds our Batman and slowly gets him outside the building so he can be teleported by Cyborg. Of course, it isn't that easy, and Tyrant Superman quickly intercepts them.
I perfected this world. So many lives lost because I held back when I should have used all my power.
For what? To control? To oppress?
In the nick of time, Cyborg transports both Batmans and the Green Arrow, but there's only one place that this can be done from.
Watchtower!
Superman flies up to the Watchtower space station, but if you remember rightly, Deathstroke set off a core reaction, so just as Superman arrives, the space station goes... Don't worry about anybody on board, they all got off safely. Meanwhile, the alternate Lex Luthor, yes, that's the good version of him, is about to fly into space and fight Superman one-on-one, but just as he takes off, he is shot out of the sky by the Joker and Harley Quinn, because Harley couldn't resist his charms and freed him from prison. After Lex defeats Harley, the Joker, being the unhinged individual you know and love, decides Harley is no longer required.
I've got this.
I don't think I'll ever get used to this Lex Luthor. Superman rushes back down to Earth to confront Lex, and just as Lex is about to shoot Superman with the kryptonite weapon, this happens. Bloody Shazam electrocutes the bald bugger. Don't worry too much about Shazam, he'll get what's coming to him very soon.
Your peace is a joke.
Superman isn't playing around anymore and murders Lex. He then goes fully batshit crazy and vows to flatten Gotham and then invade the alternate universes. Shazam attempts to talk some sense into Superman, but he politely refuses. Seeing his friend killed prompts alternate Flash to switch sides, and he runs to their aid. But first he removes a few weapons from Superman's soldiers. Keep in mind the battle is still raging on at this point on Stryker's Island, in the air, and even the Amazons are involved too. The two Batmans manage to pull the good Superman into the alternate universe, and he's ready to f*** shit up, taking down Black Adam, the Yellow Lantern, and Doomsday. Which all leads to the final showdown, the real lovable Superman against the evil alternative Superman.
I'm protected. That's what's happening out there? Protection? Disobedient children will be punished. Children? We're not gods. We don't decide who lives and who dies. The decision is mine! It became mine when Joker turned me into a weapon of mass destruction! I know what you lost, and you judge me?
As if the fight was ever in doubt, good Superman wipes the floor with alternate Superman, but he doesn't kill him. Instead, Batman and Superman place him in a red kryptonite cell, taking away his powers and leaving him to sit and think about all the bad things he's done. To tie up a few loose ends, the Flash, who switched sides, is arrested, the Joker is arrested. Well, pretty much all accomplices to the evil Superman have been arrested at this point. Lex Luthor gets his own monument, and Batman reminds the good Superman what will happen if he ever crosses the line.
If something ever happens, and you do lose it, I'm coming for you.
You'll have to get in line.
It looks like everything is rectified, doesn't it? And we have a nice little ending to enjoy. But wait, the final shot shows the evil Superman seemingly powerless in his cell, but look! His glowing eyes show us he still has his powers, and probably the anger issues too. Whew. So that was a whistle-stop tour of the first Injustice game in about 10 minutes-ish. You are now ready to play Injustice 2. Give it a few weeks and I'll have a breakdown of that story too. If I've missed anything, please shout it out in the comments. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. I'll see you next time.